everyone, this is Belle. Today I'm back to do a demo on how to paint a flower like this one. So this is very easy. Well, my inspiration here are the daisies at our neighbor's garden when I was in grade school. I've been fascinated with daisies before, but it's only now that I'm almost a senior that I started painting. So for those of you who do not know me, I am not a professional artist. I would just like to share with you my journey in learning how to paint. So as you can see, my paintings do not require precision and special skills. What's important is you know what colors you want to show on your canvas and enjoy what you're doing. As I've said before, if I can do it, you can too. And right now, we have plenty of time to bond with our families due to the pandemic. Maybe art activities will be a better alternative to spending much time on gadgets. So if you're ready, let's start. So we only need a few things for this project. So this one is an 11 by 14 canvas panel. So you can also use any paper for your practice. And for the background, I will be using a light blue acrylic paint. Since I ran out of the light blue, I just mixed the regular blue paint with white. So, and we will just fill out the whole thing with the light blue paint. So it doesn't matter if you prefer to use a different kind of paint or color, you can do that as long as you fill out the whole panel. So I will just be painting the panel in any manner. So there's no special brush stroke needed. So just color it with the light blue you have, or any color you prefer to use as a background. This is just the background for your painting. So just color the entire panel. As you can see, I didn't pay much attention to the shading here, so it doesn't really matter how you painted your background. So in this case, we will just wait for an hour or so for the paint to dry up before we can start painting again. While waiting, we can clean up all the brushes that we used by putting them in running water and wiping down the excess paint, then dry with a paper towel. So our background is now dry. We are ready to paint. So for this project, I will be using 3 kinds of brushes. The flat brush, this one is the rounded, and we call it the filbert brush, and the slanted brush. And then for the flower, we will be using 2 colors, yellow and orange. And this is for the center of the flower. See, this is the yellow ochre. And then for our stem and the leaves, we will use 2 different shades of green. So you can deviate from these colors as long as they're green. So we just need 2 shades to do our stem and the leaf. Okay, and for the flower, you can choose different colors too. Like if you don't want the yellow, you can use the pink and the red, or the pink and the purple. It doesn't matter. So, and then there's another one, the chalk. I will be using this as a guide to draw my flower. So let's start. Using this chalk, I drew like an image of a flower. It's very easy. You don't need to be precise. So if you're not really into drawing leaves, it really doesn't matter what shape of the leaf you are going to make. This is just a guide. So your brush will follow the lines of the chalk, and this is where we will start. First thing we will do is we will get the darker side of the darker shade of green, and we will trace the stem. So in from the bottom, I just point my brush. Actually, it's just you just have to leave it laying flat on the canvas. So that's how it is. I made it crooked, but it doesn't matter because I was holding the video. Pardon the dogs. Just trace it. So that's what we will do with the rest of the leaf and the other stem. Okay, so I'm tracing the other stem. Remember to start from the bottom when you are tracing. So you just fill your brush with the paint, both sides like this, and then you start tracing. Sorry, my video is bad. Like that. I've been telling you always, you don't need to be precise when doing paintings like this, because this is not realism. So we just enjoy what we're doing. Okay, so I'm tracing the leaf, see, and then you can just make the necessary corrections later. So just trace the lines that you did. Then we will color the leaf later. So with the rest of the green that you have, we will color the entire leaf. Okay. So just try to cover everything with the green paint. Don't worry about the strokes for now. We're still learning, so we are not into too much details. For the flower part, I set aside the flat brush, and now I got the round brush, the filbert brush, and I will be using the orange paint to start the first layer of our flower. So the brush stroke will be from the big circle towards the small circle, so you don't need any special brush stroke here for now. So you just try to make straight, or it doesn't have to be straight. So just draw some lines going towards the center. So can you see my video? Okay. So we will fill the entire circle with lines like that. Remember, you don't really have to follow the line you drew from the chalk. This will just be a guide for us so that our flower will be round, not perfectly round, but round in shape. So just keep filling out the circle with the orange. Don't worry if you make a mistake. Everything can be fixed. So you don't need to be perfect on this. Make sure that you put enough paint on your brushes. So it looks like I missed something here. I forgot to turn on my video while I'm putting the second layer, which is the yellow. So there's only two colors for the that we will be using for the flower. So the orange and the yellow. And I did the same thing just like when I put in the first layer with the yellow. So I just wanted to remind you to try to make your brush strokes as light as possible. So you start from the outer part of the circle towards the middle. So it doesn't have to be straight lines, straight brush strokes. It can be crooked, and the more imperfect your brush stroke is, the more beautiful the result will be. So this is now the finished second layer. So I'm gonna put in more layers to make the flower look thick, but you can, if you prefer to have only one layer or two layers, that's fine. Then you're ready to put in the middle part of the flower. I'm going to put more yellow on top of it. Okay? Ready to put in the third layer of the petals. If you notice, I didn't clean my brush and just use the yellow without washing it. The purpose is so that the two colors will blend in naturally without me doing the mixing. So it's the same thing, just keep on doing the brush strokes towards the middle. So I waited a little bit for the first and the second layer to dry, not totally dry, before putting in the third layer. So now I'm doing the slanted, I slant my brush so it will look more thin, so the petals will look thinner. So as you keep doing this thing, you will learn different ways to make your daisy look more natural. But for now, we'll just stick with the basic. So I'm just trying to fill in the thin parts of the flower here. This is my third layer. So if you notice, I made the petals shorter to create the layered look, so that you can see that there are several layers of the petals. So we're done with the petals. We are now going to paint the center of the flower. So I will be using two colors. This is the lighter green that we had earlier. So this is not the same one that we had for the leaf. So this is the lighter one. So I'm just going to dab some dots in the middle. Doesn't, like what I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. So you just dab, like that. So it looks grainy. So can you see? It's green here on the side. And I'm going to wait a little bit to put in the yellow ochre in the center. So just a tiny bit of yellow ochre. So without cleaning my brush, I just dab a little bit of yellow ochre, and I'm going to put it in the center of the flower. And later on, I'm going to put more green because it should show only a little bit of yellow in the center. So now for the budding flower, so this one here, we will be using the rest of our yellow and orange. You can mix them, or you can just put in the yellow or the orange. So I just traced the chalk drawing I made earlier. So just touch it up later so that it will so that the pigments will be nice. And then once it gets dry, we will put in more green on the side so it looks like there's something that envelopes the bud. Back our flat brush, we are getting the lighter shade of green and a little bit of yellow ochre, just to highlight our stem. So we will just trace it the same way we painted it earlier. Can you see me? So if it's too yellow, we can add more green. Okay, so it's just, you can skip this part if you're not really comfortable doing the highlights. You can just leave it green. Okay, so I'm gonna put more green here, yellow, and then later I will put more of the first green color that we used. And then I'm going to trace the leaf with the lighter green, see, so that it will have the you know, the like the veins, just a little bit. If you don't want to do this part, you can skip it. I just like to have my leaf more looking like a real leaf, but it doesn't. So like what I've said, it doesn't have to look perfect. So I'm going to put the a little bit of green on my flower bud. Just you know, trace the top edges. That's it. Does it look like a strawberry now? Well, we're not gearing into perfection here. We just want to enjoy and make something aesthetically beautiful. Okay, because our bud is still looking thin, we will be adding more orange and yellow on it. So just trace it with orange. I'm sorry, my video is really bad. So okay, it looks thick enough. So just put more yellow. Okay, so it looks like we're done with our painting tutorial. So we are done with our project. I hope you didn't forget to sign your work. So if there are imperfections or any mistakes you did on your drawings or on your painting, please don't be frustrated, since this is how we learn. So I hope you learned something today, and you'll continue on watching other videos from different artists. Well, I'm not, I can't consider myself one yet. I'm still learning like you. So let's work on this together. Thank you so much for bearing with my poor video quality, and see you next time.